Welcome back, everyone. Finally, a fucking win for me. Heart racing 45 minutes, and I'm over the moon. Very, very happy, obviously, with the second half, but we need to be doing that for 90 minutes of the game. And how long have we been saying this for? Listen, I've got a great set of guests on tonight, absolutely through the roof, and it's going to be hopefully a very good one. We're going to dissect this into what went wrong and finally getting it over the line.
Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from Passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Come on, boys. Fucking yes. That's the sort of shit we need to see. But as I said, to our hearts in mouths, man. I literally can't get my words out tonight. Absolutely elated, losing my voice. Bainsley's losing his voice. Connor's losing his voice. Lots and lots to talk about. Jeff, great to see you again, buddy. Get your comments in. We'll read them out. We'll go through them. And, oh, man. About fucking time, right, Connor?
Indeed. I'm happy for you more than anything, because at half time
I'm happy for me, mate.
I was like, Mark's going to get sacked. I was like, what's going on?
So halfway through in the WhatsApp chat, I said that I was going to resign, and a few people, Connor in particular, was taking the piss out of me. So I ended up with a GIF to say that I wasn't fucking leaving, and here I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can still leave, Mark. I mean, you don't have to stay, pal. I mean, you can still go.
I'll just give you my quick, because I know we're going to dissect it properly. So I'll just give you my 1 minute, 90 seconds dissection. Then, so the one thing I will say, people who say United live on moments. I mean, I said this after Villarreal. Who fucking cares? I would rather we win like that every fucking week, because you get moments like that, and I love it. Right?
I hope not, because I'll age so quickly.
Now, people who said, "Oh, Ronaldo's saving on his job," that's what you bring Ronaldo for. He's that type of player. That we said when we signed him, he wins you games on his own. That is exactly what he does. He's shown against Villarreal, West Ham obviously brought us back into the game tonight. He's going to do that through the whole season. So everyone's saying we live on moments, Ronaldo's saving on his job. Too fucking right he is. He's the best in the world. He's going to do that. So, yeah, I will get into the proper performance in a minute. But like I said, yes, we do live on moments at times. But so did United in the early 2000s. So did we in the 90s. It happens. So what? We won the game. Move on.
Great stuff. Just going to read some comments here. What a win. What a win. Nice to see you, John. Thought we played well first half. Difference was they took their chances. We didn't. You're absolutely right. I actually thought, and Bainsley, you said this in the chat as well. Yeah. We didn't start badly. It was just poor defending again, and it was certainly a response from the weekend. It was just an unfortunate circumstance we landed in. Thought if we got one second half, we would come back, and that's exactly what happened. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, eh? Quite a brilliant win up the fucking Reds, I'm going to add to that. I'm sorry for all the swearing tonight. Ben's going to kill me, but you know what? I don't care. Fred Woodward, my blood pressure can't sustain that every week. Absolutely buzzing. It's great to see Fred. Great appearance the other night, mate. Excellent stuff, and we'll get you on again very soon. Jeff, you're in the comments as well. What an absolute baller. Happy to be back, mate, and it's great to have you on. Jeff, talk to me, mate. How you feeling? Great to see you. It's been a while. Lovely to have you back on.
It's been a while. It's 5 a.m. here. Woke up like 3 a.m. And after that first half, like, man, am I gonna go back to sleep? And I'm so happy I didn't, because what a win. And you know what Connor's saying. I don't mind these wins at all. It's just that in the long run, when you look at it, it's kind of unsustainable. And as Fred also mentioned, I can't be shouting like this early in the morning. So I hope we get some consistency in starting this Sunday, and then we have the reverse fixture next week. So I hope we continue the second half form and be like that for 90 minutes, as you said. But yeah, happy to be back, and glad to see you guys.
Yeah, excellent. And you know what? I think if you roll back a year, we did exactly the same. Seemed to go behind. Second half FC, And here we are again. Listen, if we can build some momentum on that, it would be great to see. Fred, you aren't wrong, mate. For your information, I called 3-2 in the pre-match. 100% record. He's absolutely right. 1 out of 1 is not a bad stat, is it? You probably need to resign yourself. 3 cracking goals. 3 cracking goals. Assist phenomenal. Bruno assist. Needed that, I think. Harry Maguire's finish was very good. Obviously, a nice little header from Ronaldo at the end, which is what we love to see. And yeah, bro. Banksy, talk to me, my man. Great to see you back on, buddy. You must be elated. I hope you haven't pissed off the wife too much.
No. She's all right. She understands. I'm too passionate when it comes to things like this. But no, look, at 2-0, I was so devastated because you mentioned before, I don't think we started badly. Before the game, we wanted a response, and the response was that we came out, we pressed on the front foot. I think in the first sort of a couple of minutes, Ronaldo was pressing the ball, and then Fred went and won the ball out on the corner flag, I think, in the first couple of minutes. I was actually making notes today. And it got to the 28th minute, and we went 2-0 down. I went, oh, fuck this. I can't be asked. And then I wish I did.
And then you scrambled for them, did you?
Yeah. So, look, I'm delighted for the win. I would never like to go 2-0 down, but to win it like that, the way we did, it had Southampton written all over it. It had PSG in the Champions League a couple of years ago. It's just what a way to win. This actually felt like the 3-2 when Alexis Sanchez scored for United at Old Trafford as well. So it had reminiscence of that game, and there was certain substitutions which the coaching staff made, which changed the game. Pogba for me was brilliant. Sancho coming on when we sort of lost the pace of the game. I thought that was a clever sub. So credit is due, but please, for the love of God and my heart, can we not go 2-0 down and win it like that again? I can't do it. And I apologise to my neighbours if they're watching.
Yeah, I've been a bit noisy myself tonight, to be honest, yeah. And yeah, I can't have that. You and me both, mate. But to be honest with you, it will probably keep us fit in younger. Just going to read a couple more comments out. Brown Knight, good to see you again, buddy. Sure, what an assist. You're absolutely right. Fantastic stuff. Rashford, 2 goals in 2 games. We're going to talk about Rashford a little bit. Obviously come off with a bit of a limp. Could be a bit of a worry. He's obviously made a bit of an impact since coming back to the team. And yeah, we'll answer this question as well. You guys confident for Liverpool at the weekend? I think there certainly will be a little bit more confidence, but we'll have to wait and see. Stu, good to see you, buddy. Talk to me.
Mate. Yeah, well, do you know what? I love the game. Absolutely loved it. It's my type of game, that is, because I keep saying on this channel, football lasts for 90 to 95 minutes. And the meltdown at 45 minutes at half-time was brilliant. It was great to see. So many tears flowing in to the Ollie River. It was fabulous. And then, of course, we came out and we did what Manchester United have done for years. Absolutely years. We've been shocking in the first half, all the way through the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. And we come back and we do what we do best. We play football. Yeah, there's a frustration that we don't do it from the beginning. But, you know, this is what football's all about. And it is football. And it's what puts a grin on your face. It gets you frustrated. It gets you angry. And at the end of the day, that's why we love football. Everything that we've seen tonight is why we love football. Look, Atletico Madrid nearly did it last night against Liverpool. You know, stupid sending off. They could have well beaten Liverpool, but, you know, Liverpool, came through. That's what the Champions League's about. You want to test yourselves against the best. And, you know, I've seen a few comments that Atalanta are an average side. I don't buy into that. I think they're a very, very good side. They're well drilled. And I've always said on here, lads, that if you get a good, competent group of footballers, they are exceptionally hard to beat. They don't have to be, you know, the top end superstar pros. Hate that word superstar, by the way. They just have to be good at what they do, good at their jobs. And Atalanta are very, very competent and comfortable footballers. So it won't be easy next week. But fucking hell, we sit top of the league by 2 points. What more do you want? As fans of this club tonight, what more do you want?
top of the group, Stu. We're not quite top of the league yet. We will be. Not yet.
No, we are top of the group.
Yeah, top of the group. Not you said top of the league.
Yeah, league.
It's a league. It's a league. Four teams in the league. It's a league.
Patata, he's right. We're top of the group. Well said, Stu. What a night! I'm absolutely, honestly, I'm lost for words tonight. Karthik, I have given you the link, my man. Look on Twitter, and you can come right in. So I'm going to read some more comments. Couldn't celebrate any of the goals as the football is still not good enough. We are Man United. This isn't the football we want to be playing. However, I will take you back to what someone else has said. And where is it? The younger generation does not remember, but we used to win matches like this under Sir Alex.
Hey, I'm part of the younger generation.
Same here, and I remember it.
Nothing was ever certain. Yeah, well, listen, it's not all about this. As I said, we need to play like that second half all the time. But saying that, we'd probably be completely on our knees by the end of the season and completely wiped and void of any energy whatsoever. But listen, it's exactly what you wanted, and you know what, Connor is absolutely right. It wasn't pretty, wasn't exciting, but we take that every day of the week.
Doesn't matter.
And that's what makes football bloody hell, right? Connor, Cristiano Ronaldo, as I mentioned, not Cristiano Ronaldo, Marcus Rashford. See, I can't, I'm not there tonight. Marcus Rashford limped off at the end. Rushed in maybe a little bit. I was surprised to see him start, although we did talk about the other night that there was a possibility there. Really made an impact today. He was bright all game, and a bit disappointing to see him limp off the end of the game.
Yeah, just sorry, I just want to mention something. Just because they've literally just shown it on BT Sport. Another reason why we won that tonight, David De Gea. Those two saves about 5-10 minutes before we scored. They've literally just showed it again. That's why I'm bringing it up. And now they're showing Rashford's goal. So perfect timing. So Rashford, I actually don't think he played that well, to be honest. And I know that might sound controversial to say. It's his decision making again. His finish. He almost needs 3 or 4 1-on-1s to score, and that is a problem because you're not going to get that every game. So. He's a brilliant footballer. I've never doubted that. As you since tonight, he took his goal very well. But my issue is he needs 3 or 4 of those to score. We saw it in the first half. It was offside. Had a couple of other chances to smash off the bar. On another day, that might go in. You never know. So he can be so good, but that decision making is just holding him back a bit. Now, contrary to that, it is only his second game back after a few months out, so he's always going to be a bit rusty. The only reason I'm bringing that up is because we saw that last year. But it's good to have, and I've said this for a while, it's good to have a little bit of pace in attack, to be honest, because Sancho's not the quickest. He's quicker than people think, but he's not the quickest. Greenwood's quicker than people think, but again, he's not like Rashford level. It's good that we've got someone with a bit of pace going in behind, because the one I don't like Ronaldo is a dropping so deep. I'd rather him just stay up front. But when he's doing that, they mentioned it in the first half, when he was doing that, it allowed Rashford and Greenwood to run behind. And when you've got the pace of Rashford and you've got the passing ability like we had sometimes, not all the time in the game, that run was there. So I didn't think he was as good as everyone was making out. I think just because someone scores doesn't mean they had a good performance. But it's good to have him back because it's a completely different option to what we've had in the last few weeks. So delighted for him he got his goal. I hope that injury is just because it's his second game back and he might have just took a knock off a challenge somewhere.
I think that's more fitness.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about. And to be fair, they were probably going to take him off anyway at 70 minutes. They wouldn't have played him full 90. So yeah, he's going to be it's Rashford, isn't it? He's going to be a key player moving forward. So here's what it is.
We can only hope. We'll obviously, if we get anything in, we'll bring it up. But I'll keep an eye on the injury table list tonight and see what happens. But hopefully, he will be back for Liverpool. I think he will be a pivotal part, as you said. Jeff, we saw a little bit of 4-4-2 tonight. Stu has been banging on about this for weeks, playing Cavani and Cristiano up the top, and we still look pretty dangerous. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, it wasn't really strictly a 4-4-2. Like Cavani was playing off the wings, whether it was with Sancho or with Luke Shaw, but definitely having that double threat up front. I guess that kind of rattled Atalanta, as you can see during the build-up to that third goal. They were like making tactical fouls. I mean, even the start of the second half, they were on tactical foul mode. Like even just Ronaldo breaking free and he's not any near the goal. That's one. So I guess they're not bang average, but they're kind of scared as well with Ronaldo and Cavani up front. So I guess that helped. But I gotta mention Fred. Fred was decent though. With even with pairing with Pogba, he didn't lose a step, and he actually had our first two chances, if I remember correctly. So shout out to him. But yeah, if we have that double threat of Cavani and Ronaldo, then if we can get that system going, then hopefully we can get that consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Brown Knight agrees with you here. Fred put in a shift today, man of the match for me, and I think he's absolutely right. I think you've sort of hit the nail on the head. I think he was very good today. Obviously had the game out the weekend. Did he make an appearance? Can't remember, but he's obviously come back and really sort of had that energy today. We said the other night, Connor, didn't we, that obviously they play a 3-4-1-2, going to be heavily overloaded in the middle, and it was going to need somebody like Fred to have that tenacity and that energy and try and win that ball back, and he did do that. Listen, we criticise every single player, but we also have to give credit where credit's due. Bainesy, just a quick question here from Ugly Bear. Could tell there was a few hair dryers at half time, rightly so, needed it after the first half performance. Bruno shocking again till 52 minutes. Would you agree with that? I felt that Bruno wasn't particularly good tonight. He did give the ball away rather often.
I agree to an extent, because when sometimes you have when you have a game like this, what you actually need is a bit of control, especially when you come up against a side like Atalanta, who play very similar to a Leeds, where you need to knock it about, you need to get ping balls to feet. Where sometimes I feel like, I don't know if this is a mental thing or maybe he's being instructed by the coaches, but he gets the ball and the first thing he does, looks up and just knocks it. Sometimes you just need that sort of calm. He was 50-50 in leading up to the first goal. And then I thought, obviously, that second half, whatever the coaching staff said in the dressing room at half time, has obviously got into the players, and especially Bruno, because he did then pick it up. And he started playing I wouldn't say safe passes, but he started playing the better passes, let's say, rather than looking up and knocking it long to Rashford. Look, don't get me wrong. Sometimes he does it, it works, and Rashford scores. So to do it all the time, it's a bit hit and miss, and it doesn't necessarily work. But I agree with Ugly Bear there, where after sort of that second half, the second half performance was much better. But just all round, I think everyone was much better. I would say the same thing. I don't think we played bad in the first half. I just feel like they took their chances. We created two for Fred. Ronaldo had a semi-decent chance, but he sort of lost balance and he almost hit the corner flag. And Rashford hit the bar. So we created enough chances in that first half to warrant us to go out and go, you know what? Just continue it, and one will go in, and then the crowd get behind you, and then there's pressure from the crowd to the Atalanta players. So it's certainly a good reaction. That sounds bad because we went 2-0 down, but what I wanted was just a performance where the players sort of took the game with the scruff of their neck and went for it, and to a certain extent they did. God knows what will happen on Sunday. Honestly, I'm absolutely shitting myself for Sunday, but we'll get to that point when we do. But everyone stepped up in the second half, and they had to get that result, definitely.
Well, at least I've got the opportunity to be reviewing that, so let's hope it's another positive.
Oh, no.
Don't all know me, Bainesy. You don't all know me. Right, Stu, I just wanted to ask you about Bruno a little bit as well. He's obviously been a little bit off the pace recently. Brown Knight says a comment here, Bruno had a poor game, but he's still got an assist, and that's why he's undroppable.
Well, no player's undroppable. There's not a player on the planet that's undroppable, and that includes Ronaldo and Messi. You've got to view.
Stu, I'm really sorry, buddy. I'm just going to stop you 1 second.
Oh,
we're going to win the Champions League!
Bloody hell. Not Phil Jones in the six. Jesus. Where?
That's the only thing I was missing from that.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate? You're right.
I'm buzzing, mate. I haven't watched a minute of the game, but I don't give a shit.
You didn't watch a minute of the game? Fuck. You
No.
got loads to catch up on, mate. It's going to be the most exciting 90 minutes of your life.
Just
Well-
fast forward the first 30 minutes, and then it's a great game.
Oh, what? Brilliant game.
I'll just pretend the first half didn't happen.
You're probably better off not watching that. So, obviously, we needed to turn this around, didn't we, Karthik? Obviously, would you say that this is the reaction that we wanted? Bainsy's right in the fact that we didn't start brilliantly. We gave away opportunities, and we were unfortunate to be 2-0 down. I firmly believe that. But do you think that's the reaction, exactly what we needed?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, I'm not going to comment on the game because I haven't watched any of it, and that's just not what I do. But 100% in terms of the result, that's what we needed. We just needed to win. And, you know, we can say all we want about the first half. If we didn't play well, we didn't play well. But as I've said several times on this channel, when the back's against the wall, Ollie pulls it out of the bag. I don't know what he said at half time. But it must have been something like, "Oh, if you lose, you're getting Conte." So it's either me or him. And so you decide what you're going to do in the second half. But no, yeah, big response, big result. Bring on the Scousers.
Yeah, bring on the Scousers indeed. Connor, talk to me about what's just been said. You said that Ollie's fuming. Just been asked a question. Go on.
Well, pretty much he got
my point first.
Hang on, Stu. You can,
Right, I'm going to go see it.
One sec, Stu. We will get back to that.
No, so he got asked whether the players look like they're playing for him, and before the interviewer even finished asking the question, Ollie's like, no, we're not going there. Don't even start that. Don't ask me that again, kind of thing. So they kind of quickly moved on. He's refusing to answer that. So he doesn't look happy. And to be fair, rightfully so, he has already mentioned, Is that the press conference, or is that the interviews straight after the game? Outside, right in front of the Stretford end, chanting his name. So. Chanting his name, yeah. Sorry, carry on, Stu.
Something that people shouldn't be watching. They should be watching us. But anyway, I'm so sorry, Stu. Please don't castrate me after. Go for it.
I forgot what I was saying now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Players, undroppable. Yeah, there isn't a player on the planet that's undroppable. Some people would disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. But you should never think you're guaranteed to be picked, because if you do, complacency takes hold. And I have to say, Bruno has shown signs of complacency recently because he knows he's always going to be picked. And that's always a big problem for any footballer, because you just tend to go through the motions. You should be in that changing room on a Thursday, or in that meeting on a Thursday when the team's read out, white as a sheet, absolutely white as a ghost, panicking until you see your name on that first 11. And I think there's a bit of an issue with a number of players where they are, Wan-Bissaka's one of them, where they are pretty much guaranteed to start, and complacency drops in. And I think at the minute with Bruno, complacency is a slight problem, and he needs to kind of up his game. Pogba is seeing it. You saw an angry, aggressive, pissed off Pogba when he came on. How dare you drop me type thing. And I think maybe there are certain players in that first 11 that need that bolt up the arse and taken out the equation, and other players given a chance. But look, he gives one assist. Does it make him undroppable? I don't think so. I don't buy into assists anyway. There's 11 players on a pitch. For a player to score, somebody's got to pass it to him, or some kind of combination has to happen. So I don't really buy into assists. But the bottom line is we won 3-2, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, well said, Stu. Seen a lot of comments going on about agendas and narratives, and people getting frustrated. Listen, I love you all, and I want you to be nice to each other. Let's enjoy tonight. Let's be positive. Yeah. Let's see the positives, and we'll go from there. Listen, you'll get your fair share of negativity to say when it's needed. Connor, obviously this is going to be a huge, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a big, hopefully, momentum swing for us, and this is definitely something we need going forward. Especially as we got Liverpool on Sunday. I think we were pretty much down and out, dead and buried. No one is going to be optimistic at all. However, after getting 3 goals in the second half and coming out winners, that's going to alleviate the pressure somewhat. Do you think that's going to have a bearing on this weekend, or do you think that goes out the window?
No, I was confident for Liverpool anyway, and the only reason is because it's Liverpool.
You did say this.
It never, like derby games like that, form and everything else goes out the window. It was irrelevant. The players would have gone out on a high, fully firing from the start anyway, just because of the occasion, and the fans will not let them do any less than that. So I think, yeah, I would. It doesn't change my stance on how we go against Liverpool. It will probably be a similar team to the one we saw start tonight anyway. But the thing is, momentum is key in football, and this is something under Ollie where the one criticism has been of him is that we're not consistent enough. Man United when we were winning a lot in the 90s, 2000, we were capable. Yes, we lost 2 off games. Let's say we'd lose the odd game to Southampton or whatever, but we'd go on 17, 18 match runs. We'd go on long runs. We're not doing that at the minute. So until we do that, that's when we can start being considered successful. So I believe we can with the squad we've got, and I'm not having this. I'm not even get into coaching tonight or beer all night, but we have got the squad capable of going on a run. If we come out of this run, Liverpool, City, Spurs, Chelsea, I think then you throw Watford in there, undefeated, then it looks completely different, doesn't it? So I think you just got to have a little bit of perspective, and that's what I was trying to say to people last week when after Leicester, when it was looking so bad. You've got to wait until after this run, because then we'll know where our season lies. We've beaten Atalanta, go ahead, beat Liverpool. The season then all of a sudden looks different again. And if we can then put a run together, who knows? So just take a step back sometimes. Look at the games we've got. Let's reevaluate the rest of it once we come out of this tough run in, I don't know what it is, 4 weeks' time.
You kind of mentioned something about this run, and I'm looking forward to seeing the memes of death with Ollie as the head knocking on all the doors, and hopefully that'll be Liverpool, Spurs and City and some. But we will see. Fred Woodward, again, good to see you in the comments, buddy. Absolutely agreeing with Stu. Spot on. Pogba looked possessed in a good way, carrying the ball and getting in the opposition box more. That's exactly what we did. Great start here by Jacob. Bruno is averaging 3.25 chances created per 90 in all comps. We're arguably far too reliant on him for our most dangerous moments, and you're probably not wrong, but that is quite an incredible stat, and we've spoken about Bruno on numerous occasions and his passing ability. Now, if you are a man like Bruno that's going to play as an attacking midfielder that is a risky player, because that's what it's all about for him, you're going to make mistakes and your passing is going to be wayward on a lot of occasions. But the fact that he's creating this many chances per 90 in all competitions is a big thing, and it's about the person receiving the ball to be able to turn that into something more substantial. But great stat there, mate. Thank you very much. John Maguire, I haven't seen your face before, mate. Thanks for coming in. Viva Ronaldo, indeed. I'm sure there was a lot of that. Well, I heard it actually. There was a lot of that chanting going on tonight. Liverpool next. We have to get this right. We absolutely do. And maybe that could be the turning point. Maybe tonight could be the turning point. We will see. Jeff, obviously Luke Shaw was a little bit better tonight, got further forward. I think that relationship was key with Rashford actually in the second half. It's just a shame that Rashford obviously came off. But were you pleased with what you saw with Shaw tonight? Do you think he improved since the last few games? Because he's been pretty poor recently.
Defensively, he's not there yet. Obviously, with the corner, with another set piece goal that we conceded. But yeah, I think Shaw had a decent game. It was just frustrating that no one was utilizing his runs down the left flank. It happened a lot. Like, people were making runs from the flanks, from the wings, but the ball just goes back. I guess that's the system, quote unquote, that they're trying to implement. But the players, we don't have enough Brunos who have the balls to make those passes. I don't know why. Maybe they're concerned with their per 90. Not sure. But yeah, overall, Luke had a decent game. He had that terrific cross. I hope he gets that confidence back with Rashford warming back into the lineup. But then again, in general, for us to maximize Luke Shaw and the other players from the wings, then we got to make those riskier passes down those flanks. Because for like a good part of the first half, that was a bit of a negative football. And we kept recycling possession without really doing anything. So I hope they see that on film, on tape, and they work at it in training.
Yeah, very good point there. Jacob was saying here, fullback stepped up in the second half, looked hesitant, 5 yards too deep at times in attack in the first half. I don't think I've ever seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka as far forward as I have tonight, and that was good to see. I think we were lucky to have him on the pitch. We spoke about this the other night, didn't we? Him coming in, Dallo probably might not just cut it, and obviously he played very well, especially in the second half. Really got forward, great 1-2s, and really utilised that right hand side. Bainsy, who is another standout for you tonight? Obviously, we've spoken about Fred. We've spoken about the goal scorer. Is there anyone in particular that you think?
Yeah, actually, I did like Rashford. I know Connor's obviously had his moment on him, and he didn't think he played well. But obviously, this is he's only his second game, and I agree with Connor in an extent that his decision making does need to get better, which is 100% true. It does. I do feel like though Rashford gives us that option where he runs in behind and we can play like Lindelof. The amount of times Lindelof has assisted Rashford, he did it a few times in the Europa League last year. He did it at Leicester. So I feel like Rashford gives us that extra option that we've been missing on the left. Another player that I don't think that will get much of a mention is Sancho. It was a sort of the 78th to 80th minute. We sort of lost pace of the game. I might have got that wrong actually, but there was a period of the game where it was 2-2.
Wasn't that when Pogba came on? I felt that when Pogba and someone else came on, it really started slowing up a little bit.
Pogba and Sancho.
Yeah, so when Pogba and Sancho, when just before that, there was a period where Atalanta, and it could be just us, going hammer and tons for like 25 minutes. And then we obviously just sort of sit back and sort of regain a bit of energy and go for it again. But I feel like Sancho and Pogba coming on at that time just sort of kicked us up another gear that we just needed.
Cavani came on with Pogba, by the way. Sancho came on about 6-7 minutes later.
Yeah. So I do feel like that Sancho sort of cameo, let's call it. I thought he was good. You know, he was an outlet. He tried to be something different again because Rashford came off as well. So he's not really going to get a mention. And of course, everyone's going to bang on about his goals and assists and how he doesn't get them. And at Dortmund, he was this powerhouse, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. As long as Sancho comes on, he puts a performance on the pitch and he plays well. And I feel like he should get a mention there. So in one of the comments as well, just to quickly mention on Pogba, a man possessed. We got a pissed off Pogba today. And isn't it great when he just gets the ball, he spins and he runs at players and just skips past them, and that's the kind of Pogba that we like to see. No doubt, I'm not going to discredit his on the ball technique and his footballing ability. The only issue I have is the off the ball part, and if we're going to play him in that too, I know Stu hates that term, but if we're going to play him in the two, then he needs to be off the ball. He needs to be brilliant as well. Look, Pogba and Sancho for me, they should get a special mention. I'm a bit pissed off with Matic as well. I feel like he, at the end of the game, where you needed someone to sort of calm it down, he was quite erratic, which was really weird with Matic. He's normally the one that sort of gets the ball, calms it down, lays off the right pass at the right pace, but he was sort of just getting it and just spraying it, and then he got yellow carded for time wasting. Obviously, that's just shithousery at his finest, but. Special mentions, Pogba, Sancho, definitely for me.
Good mentions too. I thought Sancho, we spoke about this the other night again. I think he's actually been far better than what people are giving him credit for. Yes, he hasn't got the numbers next to his name, but he has looked dangerous, and he looked dangerous again tonight. I think he's just trying to establish himself and trying to take on those players at Old Trafford and against Premier League teams, but we saw a bit more of that tonight.
Just to add on to that, sorry, just quickly, add on to that. Everyone nowadays, I feel like we're in a stats era, and I feel like that everyone nowadays is all just concentrated on goals and assists. You look at, I was having an argument with one of my friends who's a Liverpool fan, and he was saying, "Oh, Shaw's been rubbish this season. He's only got one assist." I was like, "He's a left back." I know Liverpool's left back and right back, Trent and Robbo, they push up and they get crosses into the box, they get assists. But why are we so concentrated on just goals and assists? We should be looking at everything else that a player should offer. I mean, a defensive midfielder isn't going to be judged on goals and assists, is he? So why are we looking at left backs and right backs and centre back? It's with the whole Sancho thing, forget about the goals and assists. As long as he plays well, he can create a few chances. That's all we need him to do. Perfect.
Absolutely. We've got a hell of a lot of people watching tonight. Really good to see. I'm glad everyone is tuning in, getting excited, getting involved. Now listen, if you're not on YouTube, come over, get your comments in. I want to read them out. I want to talk about it. I want to discuss with everybody else on the panel. So come on over. And obviously, of course, if you're watching, please like and subscribe. Stu, any standouts for you as well? Obviously, that's a good point about Sancho. I think if I'm seeing correctly, Brown Knight is mentioned. I'm sorry, but I disagree with Bainesy. Cavani made a through pass to Sancho and he just stood there. Cavani actually went and chased his own pass himself.
I thought he was offside. Oh, never mind. Anyway, it's fine. Continue.
Standout player. Difficult one, really. Because I didn't see anybody lift their heads, particularly above the parapet, that made me think that they were, better than everyone else on the pitch. I suppose I'd have to go with the Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Thought he did play quite well. It was good to see him. And there was occasion in the second half where he took two out and he's on the edge of the 18-yard box and made that dash. He looks absolutely shattered when he got there, bless him. But he hasn't done that for a while, so I was quite pleased to see that. So I couldn't disagree with what the lads have said. Pogba, Sancho came on, apart from that one error, which actually me and Jeff were talking about pre-show before you came on, Bainesy. We're talking about that pass where Cavani runs. But Cavani gives you that anyway. Cavani will give you that energy. And that's why having him and Ronaldo on the pitch at the same time doesn't take away. Ronaldo can concentrate more as being a number 9 when you've got somebody's work rate that Cavani has in the tank. So, so I couldn't really add anything to what the lads have already said in terms of players. So I'm just still buzzing that we won. I'm not amazed at the slight negativity. I'm not really appalled at the negativity because I think that's what you're going to get until some fans get their way. But if I was Ollie, I'll be sticking 2 fingers up to the fan base tonight and say, I'll see you Sunday at Liverpool.
If you can't be happy after a last-minute winner from Ronaldo for another Stretford end in the Champions League, then you're not a football
I don't
fan.
get it. Let's just forget about... Yeah, oh, mate, I screamed it. But let's just forget about... Just forget about tactics. Forget about the system. Connor, nailed on the head.
To be fair, Bainesy, right? And you'll know this because you know your stuff and you know your football like we all do on here. But there was no system second half, was it? We got our fucking heads down we went at it. Exactly. And that's how football is. That's just amazing. Something, that's what gives you the thrill of football. When you're on that pitch and you're all fucking striving for the same aim as to win a game of football. That's what they did. That's what professional footballers do. So I agree with you, Bainesy. I don't care about coaching or anything. Connor, Jeff, we won, didn't we? Let's fucking have it.
Yeah, and exactly. Childhood hero, well, one of my childhood heroes, Ronaldo, comes back, scores a last-ish minute winner in the Stretford end, Champions League, in a game we had to win. Come on, just smile. It's not illegal to smile. Let's just forget about everything else and just enjoy it tonight, honestly.
I managed to experience that a few weeks ago at Villarreal, thanks to Connor. Yeah. And let me tell you, it is a special moment, and I very much got involved. And I can imagine tonight would have been the same.
I was there in Barcelona in '99. It was a hugely special moment, and I've been to some many.
Was you there?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I don't forget, Baines. I'm 51. I'm an old fucker,
mate.
I'm an old fucker. And I've seen some great games. I remember 79 when we lost the FA Cup to a last-minute goal against Arsenal to Alan Sunderland. But we were 2-0 down, and I'll never forget as a 9-year-old watching McIlroy weave through a couple of players and stick that ball away. It was just, honestly, the palpitations you were getting. You pick up your football, don't you? And you go outside and you play. This is what football's supposed to do to you, rather than depress you and push you over the edge to almost hanging yourself because you don't like our style of play, or you don't like this thing, or you don't like that thing. Football's about enjoyment, thrills. Look at Jeff, 5 a.m. He got up at 3 o'clock today in the morning in Manila to watch his beloved team. It says it all for me.
Yeah, credit to Jeff and other fans around the world that get up at silly o'clock, because at 2-0, honestly, Jeff, I don't know how you didn't just fuck this. I'm going back to sleep because
I gotta do the show, so I have to say something. So I needed to watch.
Commitment to all for United, Jeff. That's what we love to see.
That's exactly what we love to see, and I always appreciate you coming on, Jeff. Just a couple of comments here. NBA, I haven't seen you on the show before. Great to have you, buddy. You're more than welcome. I'm Portuguese. Fair play, bro. Long live CR7. Absolute baller he is, and thank you very much for him. You're more than welcome, as I said. A few more comments here. John Commode. Ronaldo was involved more, and I felt like he would do something today. I absolutely agree with that. At 2-1 down and he missed a couple of chances, I said to someone, give him one more chance and he will take it. It was the winner. You're absolutely right. A couple other comments here. Brown Knight. We've said this for a long time. Fred, as he plays for Brazil, better in the number 8. And I think McTominay probably was a little bit fallible perhaps as a DM tonight. But, that hopefully that can be instilled with him a little bit more. Stu, go on.
Well, I was just about to say his positional sense, McTominay, tonight wasn't particularly good. He was left wanting on many occasions. I said before on this show, and you need to draw yourself a square right in the middle of the centre circle, and that's your kind of perimeter. You don't deviate out of that square really while you're dictating the play as a defensive midfielder. And when the likes of Bruno, if they're not dropping in to take it, or the likes of Fred, you've got to be disciplined as a 6. As a holding 6, you've got to be disciplined. And that is kind of your box area, your backwards and forwards in your box area. You have to move across. You move across quickly, cut it out, step back into that box, because you see everything better dead centre of the pitch.
Yeah, good point. Cole De Luna, lovely to see you on the show, bro. Also in the Philippines, I'm assuming. Got woken up by the goal alert at Atlanta's second goal. No regrets about waking up. Great comeback. There you go. That makes a few of us. Some other comments. Let me have a little look. Cristiano must have given the pep talk at half time, quite possibly. He does like to get involved in that sort of way, and he certainly will be a big part of the dressing room and certainly would have helped. Neil, talking about Sancho, I think for 73 million we should be getting better than he is given. I don't agree. Sorry, buddy. I know that he's not getting the numbers, but I feel like he
disagrees with someone.
I disagree with lots of people, mate, but I try to be a nice guy, okay, and trying to get people to come back. Looking at the bigger picture, Andy, great to see you again, buddy. Look at the bigger picture. I was at the game. Awesome. Every fan around me, all we talked about was Liverpool. Obviously, that's going to be on everyone's minds this weekend. A massive, massive game. Probably couldn't have come at a better time really now, but only last night it was probably the worst time possible. And yeah, I can imagine that was certainly on the cards. Listen, with Liverpool, I just feel that they're very one-dimensional. If United can set up correctly against Liverpool, I feel that they could. Connor was saying he was quite sort of positive about this weekend, and I don't disagree with you again there, Connor. But I think you're right. I think if we can sound out Salah in particular and go at Van Dijk, which I always feel was a bit shaky at times. We saw that against Atletico last night. They could be there for the taking. And as I said, better that we play them now than yesterday. What else? Oh, someone's dropped out. Stuart, he's gone. Ronaldo, I've already spoken about Ronaldo. For me, he gets a lot of criticism, but I thought Fred played well. We spoke about him obviously earlier. He did play very well tonight. Yes, he missed a couple of chances. I mean, if we'd have tucked away all our chances tonight, I mean, that would have been beautiful. Would have obviously given us.
I think it would have been 8-3 or 8-4.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they didn't have too many opportunities, really. And this goes back to what we said earlier, Bainesy, isn't it? That really they didn't have too much. It was just unfortunate that we didn't defend those few chances that they had. And really, we did have a lot of the... it was excitement again. We had a lot of the opportunities. That was good to see. We needed that. And if only we'd been a little bit more clinical. Greenwood was, I thought, was relatively good tonight. I thought that he always looks dangerous on the ball and really sort of taking it in his stride, really. What else we got here?
Can I just answer that question, Mark, about what Andy's saying there in the comments about what do you think of Ollie's comments after the game saying we played well in the first half? I think we were all kind of in agreement. When we played all right in the first half, we were always going to come out in the first 10 minutes and go at them. That was all. Just after every time you lose a game, you expect to come out after that, go gung-ho at them, which we kind of did. We weren't brilliant in the first half. I think some fans are overhyping it, but I think some fans are then not giving them the credit for what we... I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think it was just okay. The goals kind of came at the wrong time, and confidence is a big part in football, and you can tell when the first goal that went in didn't really change too much. That second goal definitely had an impact on the players. You could see the kind of confidence there. The crowd started groaning a bit, and then players are scared to take that extra pass. But the one thing I was so happy with in the first half, the crowd were kind of getting on the players' back, rightfully so, from what we were seeing. But Bruno was still trying things. Greenwood was still trying to take players on. Rashford was still... The confidence didn't drop so much that we were just playing it safe. We kept going, and that's what I want to see from Man United, especially youngsters like Greenwood and Rashford. They were still prepared to run at players. They were still prepared to keep Wan-Bissaka, taking players on in his own half.
Risks.
Exactly, taking risks, 2-0 down when the pressure's on. That's what I want to see from our Man United side. So I think we were...
a bit of character as well, Connor.
Exactly.
You want a bit of character in your team.
We were good in the first half, but just not at the level we were. But the thing is, you can't, like Stu said earlier, you can't analyse the second half because it was everyone go up front, just bombard their box. So
I thought we played quite well first half as well, actually. Sorry, lads, I was messing around on an email and I pressed the wrong button like a tool. So sorry about that. No,
it's not the first time you've been called that, but yeah.
No, on a daily basis. Yeah. No, I agree with Connor. I thought actually we had a good first half. I mean, I thought we started off relatively calm, which is what we should have done because Atalanta, we know they're a high press, high fluid team. And so I thought we created enough chances to have gone in at least only one behind a half time. Really, we really should have been going in at 2-2. And so from that perspective, I was quite pleased with the attitude of the players. And I think that was the key element. I always talk about attitude and application. I think attitude was as good as I've seen it for a while today. And so I think Ollie was right. We did play quite well in the first half, and I was quite pleased about that. So, and then obviously the second half was just brilliant to behold, wasn't it? It was a proper game of football. Gung-ho, two gunslingers, and we were just a bit quicker at the traps, weren't we? And we came out on top. So, fucking delighted.
Jeff, you wanted to say something about the first half, bro? Go in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but the two big chances that we had, two of the big chances that we had in the first half was from Fred. Fred's the one going forward. And my thoughts were, was it something about the other players on the pitch? Like, why is he the one ending up there? Is it really that style of play? Because he's usually not the one going forward. It's usually McTominay, unless because of his Brazil form, then he's been instructed to. But kind of said something to me about the team. Like, is he the only one trying at that remaining part of the half? But
I don't think it's not.
Not surprise.
I don't necessarily think it's system. A lot of the time, Scholes did this, and he was brilliant at it. He made late runs into the box. And so you'll find that when you make late runs into the box like that, you don't really necessarily get picked up as quick. And so it was just Fred at that time. Now, if you take out Fred and put in McTominay, I think McTominay scores because he's the better finisher. So I feel like it's just like late. Carrick used to do it. Scholes used to do it. I mean, most of our midfield, to be fair, a lot of number 8s and a lot of midfielders do that. Late runs into the box, get the defence worrying about you along with Ronaldo and Rashford and Greenwood and everyone else. So I think it's more just ingenuity on Fred's part just to say, I want to make a late run into the box, try and get the ball.
Do you know why you noticed it tonight? Because he never does it.
He never does that, exactly.
He never does it. And that's why we noticed it tonight, because he never does it. And Baines is absolutely right anyway, and so is Jeff. If Fred had been a right-footed player, he would have buried that. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
Or if McTominay was on that. But, you know, that's one thing he's now got to do. If he is going to play as a slightly forward 8, get on your right foot, son, when you're in training tomorrow. Just do everything on your right foot. Everything for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Because, you know, a good player, an ambidextrous player, is as dangerous as it gets. If he got a modicum of a right foot on it,
Greenwood comes to mind.
Exactly, and he popped that away. It would have been a different game, a completely different game. We'd gone in at 2-1 at half time. Who knows what the score would have been? We should have gone in at 2-2 at half time. We all know, you know, Rashford hitting the bar from that angle is criminal. Absolutely criminal. He hit it as hard as he could, which is what everybody says, and he tried to go across goal. But Jesus Christ, come on.
I said this in the group chat, though. I felt like that we've created enough chances to not warrant being 2-0 down at half time.
Yeah.
We should have been at least level or maybe 3-2 up.
But also, Bainesy, not to worry about being 2-0 down at half time as well.
Yeah.
You never worry in a game of football whether you're losing. All right, if you're losing 5-0, fair enough, it's a different story. But at 2-0, you're always in the game. Because if you can go, I mean, crikey, I remember back in the 2000, I think it was 2007, I can't quite remember the date, we were 3-0 down at Spurs away, and we came back and we beat them 5-3. You get on and you grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and that's actually what we've done as a team. Whether people like it or not, it doesn't really matter. We've gone out there, grabbed it, and fucking gone and won. It's great.
And that's what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? About especially the younger players to have that confidence and belief to keep going and not panic.
Yeah.
So many times under previous managers, we've panicked in that situation. I know I said it earlier actually about the Newcastle game and a Jose, but that was a one-off. There were so many times we actually went behind and almost panicked. We didn't. We almost, like I said, we went 2-0 down. And we were like, we're not going to change the way we're playing. We're just going to keep trying to do the same things, same players. There was a lot of criticism at half time. Why has he not made any changes? He stuck with it. We kept going in the same thing. So that's what I liked. He kind of had the belief in the squad, firstly, but the squad also had belief. Because I did have worries after the first 30 minutes. Oh, God, like, are the players playing for him or not? But they clearly are. You can see that. It's evident to everybody. This is completely different now than it was under Josie or Van. Well, they didn't really stop playing Van Gaal. It was just football was awful.
They never started playing.
No, they never started playing for Van Gaal.
You could see it under Mourinho, whereas under Ollie, you can see that they're playing for him 100%.
They're fighting for the manager because they know that the manager, at the end of the day, no matter what happens in a press conference or in any media, the manager is going to back them. Not necessarily in the right way, in the sense that if a player's done wrong, he's going to back them, and he's obviously said that to them and says, "Look, I'll do whatever you want in front of the media. Just don't let me down." And that's a part of being a great man manager. I just feel like sometimes, look, we can talk about performances and we can talk about tactics and style of play. It's just nice to see that the players haven't down tools and they're playing for him because they want to. And under Mourinho and Van Gaal, we didn't really see that, did we? Towards the end of their tenure, we saw that the players didn't really believe in the philosophy and in the way that they tried to coach. You know, you look at Martial and Shaw for Jose, for example.
Yeah, Martial doesn't even get a look in these days, does he?
He's
and as Basie says, it was nice to see. Listen, Neil Burton coming in here. Stu does love a cliche, and
Absolutely.
going into that old cliche, it is a game of 2 hours, which you said earlier, Stu, and and last for 90 minutes, 96, 97, if taking stoppage time. Ironically, I thought they scored when they played decent. It's not great, but decent, and I think. Jarvis was all of us here. The last free kick to Atalanta made me really nervous. We set up a high line. I was literally dithering.
I couldn't watch.
Oh yeah, I was struggling. I was behind fingers like this. It
was a dopey free kick, wasn't it, from Cavani? It was a bit.
Yeah, you know what, but sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that. You need a little bit of drive. You need, like you were saying earlier, Matic. He was a little bit hapless tonight. I do agree with that. But you know what? I was applauding him when he went in and made that tackle because he needed it at that point. And the same with Cavani. Yes, it put us into a difficult position, but I think it was good to see that people were ready to die.
Yeah, at least he was there. At least he was there trying to make the tackle. It was a bit innocuous. And I don't think there was any malice in it, but at least he was there to do it. There's somebody on Andy Williams has said, what elite level team plays a 4-2-4? Well, if you watch the second half, mate, you'll know we didn't play any formation whatsoever. So
I've just replied to him. Thomas Tuchel played a 4-2-4 at PSG.
He did, yes. He did.
He played Icardi, Neymar, Mbappe, and Cavani as a 4. He played 2 sitters and then obviously the 4 at the back. And it worked for him.
This just comes down to agenda again, doesn't it? I mean, anyway, formation's a load of bollocks.
The thing is, and this is what I've said in the past about McTominay and Fred and the way that they do work. If they are the two in the middle, and we do kind of play a 4-2-4 when Bruno's so high. I get what he's trying to say. But the one thing I do like, and the one thing I give props to McTominay and Fred for a lot, is one of them knows when to sit. We saw it in the first 3 minutes, that chance of Rashford had where he was offside.
Yeah.
McTominay broke from the midfield 2 into that little bit of space, got the ball, 1 ball through to Rashford. And that's what I like with those two. They've got their critics, fine, whatever, but they do have that know-how with each other that one breaks into where Bruno, let's just call it the Bruno territory. One breaks into that slot while the other one sits. And that's how you progress the ball and into the attackers because Bruno's a little bit off the striker. You do need that midfield runner. And we had it in the first half, so it can work. And the thing is, if that's what Ollie is trying to implement, he's got to stick with it. We can't chop and change all the time. If that's what he's trying to do this year, then stick with it.
Yeah, but Connor, don't forget, we apparently play a 4-2-3-1, which is a 4-2-4. It's a 4-2-3-1.
Well, it's 4-3-3 with the ball, isn't it? And then we go back to a 4-2-3-1.
Of course it is. This is what I've been trying to say about formation for absolutely months. Formations are fluid. You don't play a particular formation. Most times, actually, when you're defending, if you actually look at the way that that teams defend, they defend in a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1. That's how they defend. They don't defend in a 4-3-3, Christmas tree or whatever. They defend either in a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1.
A Christmas tree. I'll tell you what, any time of the year, any other time of the year, Stu, and I would have kicked you off.
Yes.
But you're lucky. That was almost as bad as Tesco getting their chocolates out early. Well, anyway.
My tree doesn't go up to the 22nd anyway. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it doesn't. The kids like it up early, but it doesn't. But no, just talking about formations as a whole, that's the ludicrous thing about formations. Everybody hangs their hats on formations. But when you actually look at it, formations go out the window during a game of football. They always do and always will do. They always have done. Even under Sir Alex's days, the formations went out the window because you attack at different phases, you attack at different speeds, at different types of attacking, and sometimes you'll end up with just 2 attacking players. Well, what formation is that then? That's how it is with football. So. Anyway.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Stu. As always, we always love to hear about your football nights and your formations. So we'll bring that again next time. Just want to say thank you very much, everybody, for coming over, for making for putting in your comments. It's been really lively tonight. Really good to see. And let me just say, as dull as this might sound, it's great to have you over here. It's great to get those likes in. Please like and subscribe. It helps us go a very long way. Listen, I'm going to wrap up, boys. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. thank you so much for making this a really good night for me, where I've broken my duck. And we have won a game that I can review. Exactly. That's exactly what we want to see. Listen, I've loved the positivity tonight as well. It's good to see. Hopefully this changes it for Ollie a little bit more. Jeff, as always, mate, thank you so much for being up at 5 a.m. Connor, always lovely to see you, my man. Stu, always insightful stuff. And Bonesy, you too, mate. I've loved all your chat in the WhatsApp group today. As I said, please like and subscribe. Get involved. Come back next time. We've got more shows coming this week. We've got Timeline Talk on Friday. We've got another review, obviously, of the Man United Liverpool game. Massive, massive game. We've got a few other ones. What else have we got on? We've got a preview. With James as well, a tactical preview. I think Abdul's coming on this week. Stu, you'll be on there as well. Always really insightful. As I said, thank you very much. Here we fucking are. We're top of the league, 6 points. How a game can just change stuff unbelievably and turn it around like that is great. And now we're sitting pretty. Takes the pressure off a little bit more. Listen, as I said, thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next show.